Hello everybody, this is part 2 of this hopefully two-part series on harpsichord maintenance. As you can see, I have taken all the jacks out and the entire keyboard. So here are the jacks. I repurposed this box that I got from Costco. So if you go to Costco, they don't really have bags, but they give you these boxes they use to transport stuff or whatever, or display stuff. So as you can see, this is really great for fitting all these jacks. So let's see, that's 54 keys. 54 times 2 is 108. So that's 108 jacks right there, sitting in the order that they were gotten from the instrument. And over here, I have all my keyboard keys pulled out. Now, you might wonder why I did this. So if you recall, in the last episode, we diagnosed some stuck keys. Okay, and as I was playing it and having a lot of fun, some other keys started sticking. So I figured, or they weren't sticking as much as, but I didn't really notice them before because I wasn't playing it as much because it wasn't really as usable. So essentially, I was like, why not? Why not just take everything out and put it back in, and it'll kind of loosen things up, hopefully, for the long term. Now, I'm also going to make a daring attempt to repair this situation right here. Now, I'm going to have to take out this mute thing here, right? See how that works. But I'm hoping that just a few screws will get that out, because now this is very clever. Let me see if I can get in there. As you can see, the connection to this mechanism is just this elevated, so the lever is not actually connected in any meaningful way to the mute. It just kind of props it up when it goes in there. So I'm hoping I'm going to be able to remove that pretty easily. And then I'm going to drive a nail into that hole, loosen up the A string, and try to get it around there. So let's see how that goes. Okay, the mute rail, I think that's what it's called. Whatever. It's out, and all that was required was to take a little block out from over here, which just came out with 2 little screws, and then there was a, as you can see where these 2 holes are, there was a little piece just kind of keeping it from coming up, and then you can just kind of get it out. So that's nice. So that's out. Okay, so there's a few complications. Notice that so it appears that there's part of whatever's missing is still in there. So that's a bit of a complication. It didn't just pop out. Now what I did was went to my local hardware store and bought a wire nail, 16 by 3/4 of an inch, and it looks like a pretty good match for the other guys here. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to drive that right in there and hope for the best. All right. Okay, she's in there. Wasn't hard at all to get it in there. I'm thinking this wood isn't particularly hard wood. So now the danger here, this principal danger is that as you can see, these guiding nails sort of determine exactly where the string is going, and so there is somewhat, it needs to be aligned such that it's going to get plucked by that plectrum on the other end, which is attached to the jack. So there's some coordination there. I think we have some wiggle room though, and I think I did a pretty good job here though. But we do have some wiggle room in the sense that the plectrums on each of these jacks are actually adjustable. This is really neat. I keep hitting for some reason, if you hit volume down, it stops the movie on Apple iPhone. So let me grab a jack. So here's our friend, the jack, and you can see there's that plectrum right under the damper, which is actually plucking the string. If you screw the top up here, another direction, it makes the plectrum go in and out. So this is how in this model of harpsichord you adjust. Basically, this affects the loudness. This affects the action, like how much pressure you have to put on a key before it makes a sound, and all sorts of stuff. So that's really neat. Now, in a traditional harpsichord, this would be made out of wood, and I think fine-tuning the plectrum in that case is way more involved. And you do it, it's more of a Zen-like thing perhaps, and then you get special material to make the proper sound, yada yada yada, whatever. For this instrument, no way. It sounds pretty darn good. Anyway, so all right. So what I'm going to try to do now is loosen the A string. Might drive that nail a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to loosen this A string and then try to put it around there, and then yeah, hopefully that's going to work. Okay, that seems to have worked pretty well. Strings there. The folded up business card is no longer keeping it away from that pin, so, or that tuning pin. So that's great. Now we've taken, I guess aesthetically, maybe one would want to Dremel the top of this thing off, but I kind of like having that lip there to make sure that's, I don't know. I guess I don't know how much of a danger it is for the string to slip off the top. As you can see, the rest are kind of slanted in a certain way, and there's like a subtle thing kind of holding them on. But I'm pretty happy with this, even though we've taken an aesthetic hit, a visual aesthetic hit for a auditory aesthetic enhancement, which, given that this is a musical instrument, is probably a good trade-off. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably clean up some of the crud, which has been various detritus, which has been occurring here probably for many years, and then just put everything back together, and we'll see how she sounds. Okay, here's the instrument reassembled completely. With the exception of, it turns out that there's a broken jack, which belongs to this guy. That's why you only hear one string being plucked there. But so I guess the next episode will be about fixing that thing. And actually, it was broken. I didn't break it. Because you can tell, because this is actually number 47. So these are printed on the back. And somebody had swapped 47 is one of these guys. And somebody had swapped it with this top note there. I mean, it's a sound principle. Don't really use that anyway that much. But anyway, so yeah. This guy is back in action. And he's happily strung up with a nail there. So there you go. And now we have all the nice, really nice deep sounds. So I guess the next episode will be about fixing the jack and the plectrum there. And all right, I'm gonna jam out now that my harpsichord is fully functional.